Yeah. You already know what it is, man. It's your boy Big O with Mad Mike Radio. We are back in the building, and we have my man Matt Bro up here with us again. What's going on, brother?
What's up, baby? How you doing? It's good to see you once again.
Yes, man. It's always great to have you up here. Oh, man. So last week we got into a lot of stuff with you, but we did leave out some things. That's why we just had to pull you back in, man.
I mean, like, you just lit up the whole place with your whole aura and everything. I mean, the voices came down, and then Scott's throwing up fists at the camera and whatnot. You know, everything was just so powerful. And you also got a special guest with us here today. You know, he brings to the table. Introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Agostini.
Okay. So let us know.
You know he's back, baby. Oh, shit. What was he smoking before he got over here, that crazy guy?
Oh, man. And this is without the helium balloon, ladies and gentlemen.
There's no balloons here. I'm just letting it be known. But where did we leave off, man? Where did we leave off?
Well, last time we were talking a little bit about where I came from, what got me into the business. Of course, we spent a lot of time going over the different projects that are going to be coming up. I spoke a lot about that last time. We have some really big things brewing, some big meetings this week, and within the next few weeks, I should be coming on back here also for the morning show early, and that other show that you're going to be doing out on 60th. You let the world know. Yeah. But besides that, I figured might as well get back into how this all started, where it came from. Why am I here? Really clarify that stuff, because we didn't really have a chance to call in and to really go in depth. We kind of did some broad strokes, so I figured might as well today we'll condense that stuff, and the next time I come in I'll do some more promoting. But obviously what's very important to me was to go over what was happening with the Agostini case, so we'll go into that a little bit later on. So I mean, guys, ask away. I'm here. My brain is yours.
Well, man, let's just go in it. Let's just go in it. What was your pride and joy when you first started? Because we already got the background. So when you first started, was it fighting in the streets or anything, or was it Matt a rough boy, or what was your passion?
Because we know that you do just a whole lot of different self-defense.
Yeah, and if it's not that, what do you want to do? The cartoon business, the acting business?
Oh sure. Well, when you talk, because you're going into two things right there. The first thing, when I started in martial arts training, so my mother was responsible for that. She was a kickboxing champion, a tournament fighter.
Yeah, you did tell us that.
And what happened was, when I lived in Los Angeles, there was a big earthquake, '84, and it ripped my head open. I died. Wow. My grandfather actually jumped into the pool and saved me, because I fell into the pool and drowned after I had my head ripped open. Oh, wow. So they got me out of there, and the doctor said that, look, you can't take any more damage to the brain, because it could cause serious issues of hemorrhaging and pressure inside the skull. Could kill me. Yeah. So my mother said, okay, well, he's got to learn how to keep his balance. He's got to learn how to keep himself protected. So I started off with Kempo, Karate, and Muay Thai. And over the years, I've studied various different martial arts, Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, some wrestling, Greco-Roman and freestyle, boxing. I'm also not just in dynamic form and how to perform those arts, but I also enjoy, when I go into anything, business, anything else, I like to study. And I study the history, because I feel that where something came from. You can understand the whole story as enigmatically as possible. We'll all look at a point in time, or anything on the tape. It doesn't really matter. Anything that you look at, all four of us, if asked to describe it, we'll describe it differently. I like to get everyone's picture, everyone's side of view, and so I do that. I let that kind of spread out to everything that I do. I like to be very, very well informed, and I've studied for 27 years since I'm 6 years old. I'm 32. Shit, I'm getting old.
Let me ask. So we know that you've been training and everything, but since the injury, I know you really can't compete. You haven't? Have you ever competed or anything like that?
No. The most I would do is in the practice rings. Obviously street fighting. Fights in school. Wherever. I mean, listen, people. You have to understand that nature tends to be violent, and sadly, if you are not prepared to deal with that violence and meet violence with violence, sometimes you're going to be victimized, and that is something that I can't allow to happen. And I know that any background, any situation I'm in, I feel completely safe, and anyone who's with me is completely safe. Like I said, it's been a privilege to study with whom I've studied, and like I said, it's just not only that, but taking it a little bit farther. It's that that confidence that comes through with that, I mean, it just permutates
about to
into
say.
everything else that you do. So it's really, it taught me how to focus my mind, my body, give me confidence, and I believe in myself in every situation, and people should take from that.
Great.
I can totally dig it. So now it comes to this question I have to ask you. We're just gonna jump off the whole fighting topic. What are these new projects with the movies that you're trying to do? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, when it comes down to the media that we're looking to do, I'm producing several of my own films with Cypher Productions, Immortal Dreamweaver Productions. You can always get in touch with us, 646-504-4397. But, it's not just that. We're intending on, and it eventually will be, that through my distribution company, actually acquiring new talent. You look into the independent film world, I find that they're very, very hungry people. People are willing to do what it takes to make it, but they might lack business model experience. And to be honest, no one is going to invest in a person just because they want to make a film, okay? Where's the film going? Who's going to be in it? How is it going to be marketed? Who's it speaking to? These are all things that are very, very important, and these are answers that most people do not have. And where is it going is the biggest one, because, no one's going to give you $1 million nowadays. I'm sorry. Oh, I need $1 million. Everyone needs $1 million.
Week too. They ain't
no shit, right? They're going to get back to you, though.
I'll get back to you, honey. I'll get to you that one. I promise.
But, like I said, it's bringing a business aspect to it and understanding what they want, where they want to see it, and really showing how you can bring a return on investment. You can make these things happen. And I would like to tell, as I told you last time, I want to put the right media out there. I want to put the right messages. So I'm very, very selective with what I'm going to be doing. But eventually, like I said, I'm putting together a slush fund, almost like a hedge fund, to finance and distribute these films. And I'll be doing that through Distro LLC. That is our distribution company.
Yes.
You know it, baby. Wow. So, like I said, that was what I was, attempting to do. And I'm, like I said, we're going to make this thing real strong. That with the television networks, I mean, everything washes into each other,
As far as that, since he said we're going to get all fighting, but, I do kind of want to stay there,
Sure.
But besides that, how did it come into the voiceovers and everything? Because you also said you're studying that also, and you're going to be educating other people how to study under you about how to do this.
Well, I always say this, I keep, even with playing with the hands, I keep that very much down to a minimum because, it's funny how sometimes you can go quickly from being in play to being in a real fight, and it's not a joke. It really never is a funny thing to see what the opposite can be. I had to defend myself one time. I broke this guy's neck. He walks with a limp in his leg now because there's a break in where the nerve comes and connects down. It's listen, we don't know the full anatomy of the human body and how the intricacies work and the weavings, but you had to defend yourself. But I still feel bad about that. And yeah, I had to defend myself. There was no choice. So sadly, violence should be the last form. It should be the last form of action that you should look to take. Avoiding it at all costs, like Master Lee would say. Bruce Lee is saying, I am smart. I win the fight before I even fight. He doesn't fight. He makes it his business not to, and that's the way you want it because the funny thing is you'll see all these martial arts movies and all this crazy maneuvers. In the reality, what really works in real life situations is not very impressive. It happens very, very quickly and it's over. It's more the after effects that are impressive and not necessarily in a good way. But when you talk about, voiceover and two different things, I do like to teach. I won't teach the fighting game. What I do teach, though, from time to time is I actually teach defensive driving. And I do, because I like to, get a taste of every kind of, field that's out there. Why not? You only live once. Might as well try everything if you can. Yeah. Defensive driving gives me an opportunity to teach people how to be very careful with a very dangerous weapon. And I bring the principles of martial arts into my class. So most times, a 6-hour class, you want to kill yourself. Kill yourself on that shit. I make it, shall we say, a little less boring, and you get a little bit more out of it. Because the honest truth is, these laws are already out there. They're not stopping people from doing stupid shit behind the wheel of the car.
This guy right here, he's doing way, way too much. Let us get into one song break, and when we come back, Max Bro's going to let us know why Jen is here, and we're going to hop right back up into that. That's what it is. NatureStudios.com. Watching the Man Mike Radio. You already know.